Alright, so today we're going to talk about finding area of triangles. So there are older videos that I've made on this, but I wanted to give it a refresh, mostly because there's something I need to make sure that you all understand, which is these types of shapes, parallelograms. They are not that different from a triangle, not at all. For parallelograms, you need a base and you need a height. That is to say, you need a line that is going side to side, like this 7.5 miles, and you need a vertical line, like this 7 miles. Now this 7 is just a dotted line that comes to a 90-degree angle, and then it matches up with the base. That's what you're looking for. This 11.1 miles, this isn't actually something we want. Let me make sure my camera's focused. It's just starting to bug me. So, when we are doing this, sorry about that long pause, I don't know if I'll remember to edit that out, but this 11.1 is diagonal, and that's bad. We can't use diagonals. So, when finding area, no diagonals allowed. That's it. When finding area, no diagonals, but that has a little bit of a catch to it. So no diagonals, look for a 90-degree angle, which is to say we want to look for that little square symbol right there. That symbol is what lets us know that we have found a 90-degree angle of our base and our height. So for when we would do things for parallelograms, we would have 7 miles times 7.5 miles. So it would just be 7 times 7.5. 52.5 miles. And it's going to be miles squared. And that's how we would find area of a parallelogram. Triangles are not that much more different. For a triangle, you are still going to have to find the base, and you are still going to have to find the height of a triangle. So if hypothetically I had a triangle, or if I had a parallelogram that looked something kind of like this, I would be trying to find the area by doing the base times the height. Well, if I cut it in half, then I have a triangle. Or if I cut it in half here, I have a different type of triangle. Or I could even cut it in half going long ways and get a really odd-shaped triangle. But the point is, when I have a parallelogram and I cut it in half, or divide by 2, I end up with a triangle shape. And that's the big important thing. The area of a triangle is just half of a parallelogram. So, the way that looks in our formulas is we're going to have area equals the base times the height divided by 2. Okay? Now you will also sometimes see this written in a different way. I'll show you that in the shortened form, but area equals base times height divided by 2. But of course, us math people, we don't write out the whole words. Area is just going to be A, base is B, height is H, and, well, the 2 is 2. You might also sometimes see this written as being area equals 1/2 times the base times the height. And these are both the same exact formula. You will get the same answer no matter which one you do. You could either do area is 1/2 times the base times the height, or base times height and then divide by 2. They will get you the same answer. But to kind of illustrate what I've been talking about, looking at number 2, this is our triangle. Now, first of all, we want to look for our 90-degree right angle. And our 90-degree right angle is going to be right here. So, the lines that are attached to that line, so that would be 3 yards and 2.8 yards, because 2.8 is going vertical from here, and 3 yards is going horizontal from here. This 5, compared to those other numbers, is a diagonal, so we can't use it. Now, just to kind of show you what I'm talking about, if I were to do 3 times 2.8, if that's all I did, 3 times 2.8, I would be finding the area of this shape. 3 times 2.8 will give me this entire parallelogram. That's what I'm doing when I do base times height. When I do divided by 2, I will be taking that whole area and then only finding the area of this piece, the triangle part, the part I want to know. So, all we're going to do is type in our calculator, and I'll show you both ways. We can either do base times height divided by 2, so 3 times 2.8, that was 8.4, divided by 2, I got 4.2. So, one formula, area equals 3 times 2.8 divided by 2. Area equals 8.4, and I still divide by 2. Area, the answer was 4.2 yards squared. Okay, so that's one. The other way that we could have done this problem, it's the same way, just written a little differently, is area equals 1/2 base times height. So area equals 1/2 times the base, which is 3, times the height, which is 2.8. Okay, so 1/2 times 3, so 1/2 times 3 gives me 3 over 2. I'm going to change that into a decimal. Gives me 1.5, so area equals 1.5 times 2.8 gives me also 4.2. Both formulas get you the same exact answer. It doesn't matter which one you prefer. For me, I prefer base times height divided by 2, but you will oftentimes in quizzes and tests, you'll see this formula written just as often as this one. Let's go ahead and move on to our next 2 example problems so we can keep practicing. Numbers 3 and 4. So for number 3, they have a whole bunch of extra numbers. Remember, we just need the base and the height. We don't need 4 numbers to make this work. So 2 of these numbers are fake. Remember, we want to be looking for our 90-degree angle, which is going to be right here. So our 90-degree angle box, we can only use lines that are attached to this little box, which means my base is going to be 6.1 and my height is going to be 4.7. We cannot use these 2 lines because they are diagonal. So the 6 meters is out and the 5.2 meters is out. Okay, we cannot use either of them. From here, we just go ahead and write down our formula. It's a good idea to write down what you are going to type into your calculator so that way you can check your work later and see if you typed in the wrong thing. So we have 6.1 for the base times 4.7 for the height divided by 2. Now I can go ahead and switch to the calculator. So 6.1 times 4.7, and I got 28.67 just for this multiplication part. So 6.1 times 4.7, I got 28.67. Now I have to divide by 2. And I get 14, area equals 14.335. These were meters, and they are squared. That's what I get for number 3. Number 4, the last one I'll practice because this one is weird. See, we do have a 90-degree angle that we can work with, but it's way up here. So for all the other problems, the box has been down at the bottom. So, but for this one, my 90-degree box is there. what we need to do is turn our paper, or if you're on your Chromebook, you can turn your Chromebook or computer, and we can see the real base and height. The base would be this line, and the height would be this line, the lines that are attached to my 90-degree angle. So let's flip our paper back right side up, and we can see now, while it looks like the 12 is our base, it's not. The 12 is just a diagonal line that's turned sideways. So we are not going to use our 12, and we are not going to use our 7.1. The only two lines that are attached to this 90-degree box is 6.8 and 11.9. So those will be the two numbers I use. So area is going to equal my base, 11.9, times my height, 6.8, divided by 2. So let's go ahead and do the multiplication part. 11.9 times 6.8, and I get 80.92. So 80.92, but we still have to divide by 2. Okay, we did the multiplication, but we haven't divided yet. And we get 40.46. And these were yards, and the little 2 in the corner. And there we go. This is the entire process of finding area of triangles, and a little refresher on finding area of parallelograms. So you need to remember, the big thing for this lesson is do not use diagonals. And if you're having trouble figuring out which line is the diagonal, look for the 90-degree angle. The lines that are attached to that 90-degree angle will be your base and your height. Okay? And that's all. Hope this helps.